we cannot engage in it, apparently. And then he's saying, did in Europe, please, don't shut yourself a horse. Because you see, about the 7 shillings that you're talking about, well, we already mortgaged that. And so, you know, be comfortable with that. Live with. When did the Kenyan people agree to that? And this is what I am saying. Let's have that conversation in Parliament. Let us ask the members of the National Assembly for once. I mean, let's be real. Why? Because the domino effect of these hiked prices of fuel, and I say it on this platform with you, that if you do not understand geopolitics is played by the who are up there in the hierarchy of power. And in the hierarchy of power, they have agendas and goals and aims that you are not consulted or taken into account. And I say here, and I can't remember if it was Meshach or someone who challenged me and said that, look, I say the Strait of Hormuz being closed on and off like that, this is controlled demolition of capitalism. And the moment you realize that it has a time frame, not 2 months, not a year, it probably will take 2 or so years, COVID style. The same mandarins who are behind COVID-19 are the same mandarins who are behind this closure of the Strait of Hormuz, and the tip by Trump to China. Can you imagine that? That they had a war to the point that, you know, Trump said that we do not want to allow Huawei to be in the U.S. And they said, oh, you know, we want to buy TikTok from you. And, you know, all those wars somehow, you know, collapse, and they have, you know, dinner and all of that conversation. Putin then goes to China and all of that. And, you know, China says that you don't touch Taiwan. And, you know, I'm going to withhold, not get off completely Iran. I mean, those are the sort of conversations that they have. So at the peak of the geopolitics, you have those games being played. And we will be just the minions suffering there. Now, if we do not comprehend or understand that, we'll play those games that, you know, Meshach is saying, that, you know, austerity is not possible. Austerity is possible and should be. A nation that does not learn by its leadership to live within or beneath its means will engage in the shenanigans that we have been thrown and cast into right now, and we are in danger of that getting deeper into that mire, because the attitude that is being adopted by the CS is that we will do nothing. So they continue with their field guzzlers. When the Kenyan people are walking, and you saw, excuse me, they had to oil the machinery of the economic production, and the government began feeling the pinch, and they said, no, look, we have somehow to get back. And so they thinned that out a little bit. So that to them is supposed to be the ameliorating measure for them, but to the Kenyan people, we want to demand this chunk of taxes to be reduced and cut off. And to answer your question, Meshach should probably come to the realization that the Kenyan people do not want to fund state house lavish parties or lavish, you know, refurbishment. Every other budget that you see, oh, you know, state house is being refurbished. Oh, you know, the Nakuru State House is being moved. And, you know, that land is supposed to, all over. And the question is now, when did the Kenyan people approve of that? So the moment that we as a people, the nation, does not accept that we need to live within our means, stop borrowing from the IMF, stop borrowing from the World Bank, stop these, and he said, and the CS confessed that, you know, we now cannot access any Eurobond. That means that those doors are closed. So it teaches you, or at least it forces you to be inward looking. He says, oh, will we engage in domestic borrowing? Stop domestic borrowing to engage in these sort of shenanigans. And for Meshach to say that, you know, we will deny the supplier, or we'll deny that legal person. Come on, learn to live beneath your means, not just within, beneath your means. And as a nation, we have been sunk into this scenario by no other than the president. When you see himself hiring this private jet, and we are hearing, and we have heard nothing from the government. Hold on, I'm closing. We have not heard anything from the government spokesperson, or even from the executive. Say, no, you people, you've heard about the former Swiss from Seychelles? No, come on, that's exaggerated. You've heard about the private bath, you know, jacuzzi and all of that? No, that's not. Nobody has come to deny that. So to the Kenyan people, you see that you do not need that sort of luxury. You should be engaging in austerity measures. Right. Get a private jet now, really? Why can't you send your CS to Baku? Azerbaijan, to go and discuss about that. Why, for instance, do you have to engage in that
sort
of luxury spending?
Yeah, but already you must agree that government spending is at its highest. Even the comparison made, now that you insist on comparing the last two administrations, they said